since Hippie Market started, it was all about just people supporting each other and the faces that show up and the energy people bring. Every single person brings a piece, and then when you have all those pieces, you're just like, you can't help but just celebrate that. As I was coming up, I had my mentors that I wanted to kind of celebrate, but there were so many like young people that were like, what do you do and how did you do this? And then when the trend started to swell and I noticed kids, all kinds of kids were wearing like vintage again and thrifting again, because there was a moment in the mid-2000s where people were like, I don't know, they just all wanted to wear like new stuff, and I got really nervous for society. And then when I saw this swell, it kind of was timed with me shutting my businesses, because that chapter had shut like in my soul. And I was like, I don't want to work alone anymore, and I want to do this with like other people, and I just knew that I had it in me to be able to create that sort of like hammock for people in the beginning that hadn't done it, because I had so much experience to offer.
So what do you enjoy about like the hippie market, and like what brings you here? Why here?
Yeah, why here? It's a huge community. Like it's beautiful to see like people getting together, supporting small business and sustainable business. It's a pleasure to be here.
The hippie market part is really fun. It came from, well, first of all, there's hippie markets in all parts of the world, so I did not invent that name. But for me, to be honest, I was selling right across from Bellwoods. I was paying like thousands and thousands a month. And I started seeing like teens and like people coming out with their blankets and just like selling stuff. And I was like, I just want to be a hippie. Like, I don't want to do this anymore with all this like commitment and leases and things that these people might not know. They might evolve to want shops. But in this retail climate and the world that we're in, like, you can do markets and you can sell online, and that's what Hippie Market's created.
I'm Alicia. Started BALTIC MARCHE just 2 years ago. Live here in Toronto. I sell to all environmentally responsible home goods. Everything's meant to look beautiful in your home. I want you to love everything you bring in, and I really try to focus on bringing in Canadian-made and local artisans into the shop. So all our products are biodegradable, recyclable, and meant to last you a lifetime.
Perfect. All right, so what brings you here to Hippie Market? Why Hippie Market is the place to set up shop?
A lot of the items here are also vintage, and it's like a big focus on sustainability and like using what's already out there and being like kind to the environment, and it's such a good environment here. Everybody like kind of loves each other.
I really believe in it, and I obviously, because I give my heart and soul to it, and I still feel like there's so much like growth. People are always like, well, what more with Hippie? And I'm like, it needs a minute just to continue to build structure and deepen relationships and partnerships, because we do need like support as well. Like the community, like just to do this, like we also need some like support. And when we get something like that from like CAMH, for example, they're like, you know what? Here's some grounds. You know, you guys do some giving back, and we'll give. So then the community starts to grow. So I'm looking forward to like where that could lead us and everyone who wants to come along. So today, in honor of Pride, there's like a really powerful organization that's doing like really important work, and it's almost like being able to bring safety to people from abroad. So the Rainbow Railroad is providing literally like safety from countries where people like I just think we forget, like speaking of gratitude, like to be able to be free enough to be able to express. So they're actually bringing safety to like people who are in harm just for being actually who they are, and we don't have that here. We just don't have that, so that's really important. And CAMH, I mean, they've been so generous to have us here, and I've developed such a great relationship with some of the women that are working with CAMH as a life, and I'm just like, this is your life, and these people like live here, and without this support and network. But what I learned is when people come here, and this is going to the Gifts of Light, that's the other organization that we're raising for. People come here with nothing, like they don't have even like a toothbrush or like shoes or a change of just the things that people, it's dignity, right? So they have a charity called Gifts of Light. So we're bringing goods and cash to that. So when people arrive, they can get basic necessities, they can get art supplies, things to like, you know, create and just take care of themselves with. So those are two big ones. Hippie Market life has become, I mean, I was never much of a social media person. I do it all myself. I answer all the things myself. I do my best to work for people who have not been able to reach me. But we always just announce our dates there and on our website, which we started, which is hippiemarketlife.com. And that's it. We just like put our new dates and we try and get good coverage and, you know, we're trying to build a program that is going to be digging a little deeper. I have staff and support now, or we're gonna like digging more deep into what the stories are behind all these amazing people. Right. So that's like next. That's pretty much Hippie Market life. That's where we live.